Welcome to a bright and sunny day in Mae Sot. A little bit of an unusual twist for today in that I have a friend coming over to pick me up in his car, and we're going for a ride around Mae Sot. He's going to take me to one special place, and after that I'm not quite sure where we're going to go, and we'll see what I end up taking video of. And I don't think my friend will show up in the video. I will just call him the mystery driver. I think he's outside now. So I'm in the car now with my mystery driver that I didn't tell you who he was, but my mystery driver friend. We're here driving around Mae Sot now. And the fun thing is that for me, this is really kind of a treat because the last time I was in a private car, I think was maybe a year and a half ago. I've been in a taxi here in Mae Sot, but never in someone's normal car, sitting in the front seat like this. So it's a very simple thing for most people, but for me, this is actually quite an exciting day, just to be in a car. Anyway, we'll see where we're heading. I think we're heading to the river, and it'll be a surprise what we see when we get there. Well, my mystery driver and I have arrived at our secret location. I'll flip the camera around and show you where I am. And there it is, just across the river. That is Myanmar, and this is a casino called the Miyawadi complex. And it isn't operating right now. Normal times, of course, this would be a very busy crossing. And you can see all of these boats docked along the river. And these boats would be very busy carrying people back and forth from this pier over to that one. And people go over there to gamble, have a drink, and enjoy themselves, and then come back. Pretty amazing. I've never been out here before. I never went to this casino even when it was open. And apparently there are a number of them here. This yellow building here is another casino. But yeah, very interesting. When we came up here, it came as a surprise to see that the river was so narrow. Like, that's Myanmar here, and this is Thailand right here. It's a very short distance across. Yeah, and border areas between countries, always so fascinating. Anyway, we're going to head down the stairs and then get close to the river and take a closer look at this place. You have to pay attention to the signs as you go to the casino. Here's an important sign: no guns. Tape is coming off. I'm sure this says something important. But there's the name of this place. Where is it? Yeah, Miyawadi complex. Getting down closer to the river. I just found out that in normal times, at 8 o'clock at night, there would be soldiers stationed down here. And the soldiers would check everyone's bags to make sure they're not carrying across illegal goods or duty-free goods, things like that. Apparently they don't check ID at all, and you don't even need a passport to go over to the casino, and that's really cool. You can go from one country to another, and in a rare instance, you don't even have to bring your passport. It's kind of cool. But, as I said, everything is closed right now. Not a lot of activity over there. I'm still down at Miyawadi complex, still on the Thailand side. I haven't made a run for it and tried to get to Myanmar. Though it's interesting, there's no one here in terms of no authorities. But of course there are no boats going back and forth either. So nobody's that worried about people going from Thailand into Myanmar right now. But one interesting thing I learned is that this is heading into the dry season, and in the rainy season, this river would rise so much, the water level would actually go above these stairs all the way up to those stairs up there. So all of this would be underwater, and the boats would actually float right up to the top there at the bottom of those stairs. And I'll flip the camera around. And on that side, the water would rise as high as that black barrier up there, and then the boats would go all the way up to the top. All of this at the bottom would be underwater. Very cool. I always love the atmosphere of border towns, which is one of the reasons I like Mae Sot. I like it's kind of got a Wild West feeling. Whenever you get on a border between two countries, there's all this traffic back and forth, legal and illegal, and customs, and all the official concerns for paperwork and visas. And then, of course, you get the smugglers and all kinds of things going on. And apparently, a lot of basic goods are cheaper in Thailand than in Myanmar. So as people go back and forth, even employees, people that work at the casino in Myanmar, they live in Mae Sot, and every day when they commute to work, they just drive here, park, get on the boat, go over to Myanmar, work all day, and then their commute, they come back to Thailand and go home. And people do it in both directions. And since it's cheaper in Thailand, as part of your day, you can hit the shops in Thailand, stock up on veggies and eggs, whatever you need for your home, and then you cross back into Myanmar. It's just cheaper to go shopping over here. And again, I can relate to that because my hometown in Canada is also a border town between Canada and the United States. And back in those days, when I was a kid, everything was cheaper in Port Huron across the river in the United States. And as a family, it was so easy to cross back in those days. It's not like today. You know, we would just all climb into the family car, drive across the bridge into Port Huron for the day, have dinner over there, and then my dad would fill the car's tank with gas, just fill up the tank, and then drive back into Canada with a full tank of gas. And it was just a lot cheaper in the US, than it was in Canada. So, yeah, a lot goes on in border towns. So, mystery driver and I were heading to another spot up the river. I don't know what it is. I'll show it to you when we get there. And of course, at the parking lot for the Miyawadi complex crossing, they have ATMs, just in case you need more cash to go and gamble the night away. So, my mystery driver and I, we just drove down the river, and there are two more casinos here. This one, I believe, is called the Crown, and then there's one beside it that we can't see, much bigger, I think, called the Grand Miyawadi. And they're newer than the one we just came from. And I guess they both opened up within the last year or the last year and a half, and very bad timing for them, of course, because everything is shut down for COVID. I can't get any closer than this with the camera, because there's some men there sitting off on the side, and they were very clear that no cameras were allowed, and they didn't want us to go down there at all. So we tried walking just to the front, and so we got a look at it, but I wasn't able to take any video, and then they seemed very uncomfortable with our presence. So we decided it was safer and wiser to just sort of take a quick look, and now we're going to take off. So yeah, two more casinos just ahead of us there. Just a quick epilogue on this visit before I get back in the car. At this place, they had a sign right at the front saying no cameras. So I kept my GoPro in my bag as we walked around. But this is a really amazing place. I only heard about it within the last week. Kind of a bicycle depot. All these bikes apparently are imported from Japan, and they're all secondhand, and there are literally thousands of bikes here. You can see a whole bunch of them here, all piled up, and there's 5 or 6 more shops in that direction. And then down here, there's entire warehouses full of hundreds, thousands of bikes. And then down here, there's even more shops around the front. So if you were in Mae Sot and you really were serious about buying kind of a city bike or even a half-decent bike, this would be the place to go. They seem to be in relatively good condition, and the prices are good. One shop here was showing me bikes that were 1,100 baht, 1,400. Some more modern sort of mountain bike styles that I saw, they were saying, depending on the brand, 3,000 to 4,500 in there. If it's like a well-known brand that is known to make good bikes. They might charge 4,000, but a lot of them were 3,000 and lower. So yeah, this is the place to come for bikes. I wish I could have the camera out as I was walking around, but I did want to risk it because of the no camera sign. And we're also right on the border. That's the river down there, and they do shipments across the river from cargo containers, large boats ferrying goods back and forth. And yeah, they're a bit, people get strict when you get close to a border. So I kept my camera in my bag. But yeah, really interesting place. I could spend a whole day here just looking at the bikes. But it's time to hit the road, and we're going to see where we end up next. Continuing our tour, not far from where we were just looking at all the bicycles, we came across this place, a historical site. I won't try to say that name, but there it is in Thai. Well, actually, it's Thai and then English and then Burmese down at the bottom. So we're just going to walk up and see if there's any information about what this historical site is. So at this historical site, there is a shrine, but I don't see anything in English up there. So I don't know what it could be about. There's a whole series of shrines here, all kind of connected together on the hill. And some of my buddies. And that's the highest one up there, but I don't think we can get there.
Oh, I think we can go through there.
Well, it looks like the gate is closed. Yeah. So it looks like this is the entrance to the main shrine up here, but it is blocked off. The next stop on our mystery tour of Mae Sot, we've ended up in the Moye market down by the Friendship Bridge. So it's not very busy today. This is a Friday afternoon, but I've walked by this market quite a few times, like walking up and down the river when I've gone to immigration. But this is the first time I've ever gone inside the market building itself. I had no idea it was here, to be honest. Whenever anyone said, have you been to the Moye market? I would say yes, because I've walked up and down streets all over this area. But apparently this is, I'd never been in here before. So we have all these interesting shops inside the market building. And some of them sell jewelry, like this one over here. And then a lot of them sell lots of candy and snacks, I guess, for people that are heading into Myanmar from Thailand or vice versa. And you can buy snacks on your way home for the kids or family members. Yeah, there's a lot of electronics in here. And clothing, more traditional styles, I guess. Kind of tourism clothing, I guess. And precious stones. Yeah, so it's actually quite interesting in here just to walk around. They sell a lot of interesting items. Nothing that I need in particular, but yeah, you can see all these tourism shops back there. I was just chatting with our mystery driver for today, and we were talking about how markets like this can be useful too, because they sometimes sell little gadgets, little items that you can't find anywhere else. I mean, you can go to Robinson's department store, and you can go to Tesco, and you can go to 5 more hardware stores, and you just can't find this tiny little thing you're looking for. And in a market like this, they have all these little gadget shops back there, and chances are you might be walking around and you're like, oh, I've been looking for one of those little things, and you can pick one up. So this is kind of what I was just talking about, all the little gadgets, and on this side as well, little lights, and then even a grooming kit, which you might think to yourself, you want to buy one, but where do you go to find one? But chances are a little market like this might have everything you need. So there's the Moye market building where we just were inside. It has this huge roof covering the whole thing, and then all these individual structures underneath. It's kind of interesting. And where I've usually been is over here, just walking along the river. And these are all the little stalls where they would sell either duty-free or gray market or even black market liquor and cigarettes and all of that. I've seen it during the normal times, and it's just jammed with products from end to end. And right now, of course, there's nothing there, nobody there at all. Everything is closed down because there's no border traffic. It's just crazy. This might be the last stop for me and my mystery driver for today. We are heading to the Lucky Tea Garden to have something to eat. And I just heard about this place from a friend of mine. There was a guy staying here in Mae Sot from the United States, and he just left a couple of days ago. But I got a message from him recommending the Lucky Tea Garden as a place to go. And he says they have a nice menu written out in English, and it's a great place with good food. So that's where I'm heading next. And oddly enough, it's right beside the bike shop that sells the Surly bikes from the United States. It's a Surly bike shop is right here. And over here, this is the Lucky Tea Shop, right down here on the bottom. And this is where I'm going to have lunch. So here we are on the inside. And this is the seating around me. And we ordered, so far we've ordered some roti with banana at the front, and then getting some kind of beef and mutton curry to go along with the roti. I'm spotting a menu on the table or on the counter, so I'm gonna go snag a menu and take a look at it as we sit down. Just leaving from the Lucky Garden Tea Center, Lucky Garden Tea Shop, something like that. I didn't film anything with the GoPro for two reasons. One reason, I thought I didn't bring any extra batteries. I couldn't find them, and my battery went dead. Turns out I did bring them, but I put them in the wrong pocket, so I didn't record anything. But they also had music playing all the time, and I can't record any video with commercial music playing over the loudspeakers. So I'll try to come back here on a different day and do a little bit more in-depth video about this place and the menu and the food that you can get here. But it was really good. We got like banana roti with beef curry and rice and a hot tea. Yeah, really nice place. So I hope to come back here again. The Lucky Tea Garden Shop. Sorry, next time I'll remember to bring, or remember where I put my extra batteries. Oh, that might be it for my day with my mystery driver. Finished our lunch at, what is it called? A Lucky Tea Garden. Lucky Tea Garden, something like that. Just had a dinner there, and I think we're heading back to my guest house, and I think that's going to be the end of our journey for today. So, thanks for coming with me on this trip around Mae Sot. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.
the Moye market.
Ah,
You
yeah. I think you mentioned it before.
You dropped by there before, but this.
Well, it was never anything happening when I was there. Taking video of our elephants. After I went to immigration, I would just go for a walk along the river